Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon and welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Francesca Zambello. I am the artistic director of the Washington National Opera at the Kennedy Center. Thank you for clapping, one of our most famous and favorite patrons was the late Ruth Bader Ginsburg. For us, she was truly devoted to our company, and we were truly devoted to her. She is probably the most famous opera fan that ever lived. And because of her, we sort of went out into so many different places in the world. For her, opera was a relief from all the things that she was certainly most famous for. And so we are honored to be here today to offer two selections that are really in her memory, which I think that she would have enjoyed. One of the things that she was a huge advocate of was what is known as our Young Artists Program. This is a group of 12 singers who are people on the brink of major careers. I'm sure there are many lawyers here. They are like our version of associates. And so today we have 3 of them here with us. We're going to first start with a number that comes from an opera by Richard Wagner called Tannhäuser. It's an aria by the character Wolfram, and he is singing to the evening star, and he is saying farewell to the evening star. It is a very beautiful and moving short aria. It is going to be sung by Jonathan Burton and accompanied by the head of our Young Artist Program, Chris Cano. Please welcome them.
Well, I heard it and it was great.
Erscheines du, o lieblichster der Sterne, dein sanftes Licht entsendest du der Ferne, die Nächt'ge-Dämmerung teilt dein Liebesstrahl und freundlich zeigst du den Weg aus dem Tal. Ried, wohl grüßt dich ich so gern. Wenn sie entschwebt dem Tal der Erden, ein selger Engel dort zu werden, wenn sie entschwebt dem Tal der Erden, ein selger Engel dort zu
Jonathan, thank you, Jonathan. Jonathan will be back for the national anthem. We're now going to hear a piece that I know RBG loved, which is the final duet from the opera Romeo and Juliet, sung in French by Tiffany Cho, and with tenor Zahir Salem, again accompanied by Chris Cano. Thank you so much.
Et son rêve, sa bouche murmurée, mes doigts en frémissant sont idolés à la chaleur de son sang. Elle me regarde et se lève. Seigneur Dieu Tout-Puissant, elle avait, Juliette est vivante. Dieu, quelle est cette voix, dont la douceur m'enchante. C'est moi, c'est ton époux qui, tremblant de bonheur, embrasse tes genoux, qui ramène à ton cœur la lumière enivrante, la lumière enivrante de l'amour et des cieux. Oh, c'est toi! Fio tous des entrailles de pierre. Ni larmes, ni prières, rien ne peut les attendrir. À la porte des cieux, Juliette, à la porte des cieux, et mourir.
Mourir, oh, la fièvre t'égare, de toi que délire s'empare. Oh, bien-aimé, rappelle ta raison.
Hélas, je te croyais morte, et j'ai bu ce poison.
Ce poison, juste au ciel.
Console-toi, pauvre âme, le rêve était trop beau. L'amour, céleste flamme, survit même au tombeau. Il soulève la pierre et des anges bénis, comme un flot de lumière se perd dans l'infini.
Oh, douleur, oh, torture.
Écoute, ô Juliette, l'alouette déjà nous annonce le jour. Non, non, ce n'est pas le jour, ce n'est pas l'alouette, c'est le doux rossignol, confident de l'amour.
Oh, cruel époux, de ce poison forest, tu ne m'as pas laissé m'abattre. Oh, fortune poignard, tout ce corps m'arreste.
Dieu, qu'as-tu fait?
Good evening, good evening. Let's give the members of the National Washington Opera another round of applause. My name is John Samuels, and I have the distinct privilege of introducing the director of this Smithsonian National Portrait Gallery. As the first woman to serve as the director of the Smithsonian National Portrait Gallery, Kim Sayed has been exploring new ways to place personal experience and creativity at the center of learning and civic awareness. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to some and introduce to others the director of the Smithsonian National Portrait Gallery, Ms. Kim Sayed.
Good evening. My name is Kim Sayed, and I want to welcome you to the Smithsonian and the National Portrait Gallery. When Congress founded the museum, it was with the understanding that we would collect, display, and tell the stories of individuals who have made a major contribution to US history and culture. And as we all know, Ruth Bader Ginsburg has not only made a major impact on this country, but one that has truly served to inspire generations of people to fight for the things that they care about, but in such a way that others would like to join the cause. In recognition of her remarkable impact on our nation, I'm proud to say that the Portrait Gallery has 4 portraits by Justice Ginsburg in the collection, one of which is part of a group portrait of the first 4 women to the court, painted by Nelson Shanks, that he titled The 4 Justices, and that we like to call the Supremes. There is a popular adage that well-behaved women rarely make history, and the same certainly applies to portraiture. Before the advent of photography, portraiture favored those who could vote, white men who owned land. Over time, more women would have their portraits made, but truthfully, still very few. Still today, only about 25% of the collection depicts women. Ruth Bader Ginsburg was extraordinary because she did not only create his story, history, but also her story. She inspired other women to fight for their independence, demonstrate their intelligence, and question the status quo, to be, well, badly behaved or notorious. The kind of woman who was noticed and seen literally making positive change. So now, ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to introduce the Chancellor of the Smithsonian and another Supreme, the Honourable Chief Justice of the United States, John G. Roberts, to give opening remarks.
Thank you very much, and good evening. I want to begin by thanking Director Kim Sayed for hosting this magnificent and meaningful event here at the National Portrait Gallery. I also want to express my appreciation to USPS Board of Governors Chairman Roman Martinez for his important role in today's official stamp dedication. And I do want to acknowledge in the audience my colleague, Justice Sonia Sotomayor, and my retired colleague, Justice Kennedy. Where are you? Somewhere. I am sure there will be no dissenting opinions from my remarks. There was once on the Supreme Court a New Yorker so recognizable that the Postal Service delivered an envelope to that person addressed only by a drawing of the justice. I am referring, of course, to the time 88 years ago when Charles Evans Hughes was Chief Justice of the United States. The envelope, which we have kept in our curator's office, is adorned with nothing more than a pencil drawing of Hughes, a January 21, 1935 postmark from New York City, a 3-cent stamp, and the words Washington, D.C. scrawled across the bottom. The Postal Service knows an icon when it sees one. Perhaps that delivery was the inspiration for a stamp issue honoring Hughes in 1962 on the centenary of his birth. Now, everyone here knows that the court has had another New Yorker so iconic that mail could have been delivered to her by a mere sketch of her appearance. Indeed, perhaps even a sketch of just her signature collar. And now a new stamp will honor this outstanding American, an eminent jurist who gave so much to our country as scholar, teacher, lawyer, judge, and justice. In the pantheon of philately honored justices, she joins a distinguished membership including not just Hughes, but also Chief Justices John Marshall and John Jay, and Associate Justices Oliver Wendell Holmes, Louis Brandeis, Thurgood Marshall, to name a few. William Howard Taft has a stamp too, but that honors him for that other job he held. It is a fitting moment for this ceremony too. 30 years ago yesterday, the Supreme Court held a ceremonial investiture welcoming Justice Ginsburg to the court. 30 years ago this week, she sat as a member of the court for the first time when it convened by law for a new term on the first Monday in October. Now, as a consequence of that same law, however, I am due back on the bench tomorrow morning, and so in just a moment, I will turn the program over to the Postal Service. But I couldn't miss this occasion. I want to recognize the presence of the Justices' children, Jane and Jim Ginsburg, who will always be part of the Supreme Court family. As Chancellor of the Smithsonian, I am pleased to welcome everyone here to the National Portrait Gallery. As Chief Justice and on behalf of the court, I thank the Postal Service for honoring our late distinguished colleague and dear friend. Thank you very much and enjoy the program.
I now have the distinct honor to introduce your MC for the evening. Tom is an anchor at Fox 5 in the morning on Sundays, the host of the 5 on the Hill, and a reporter for WTTG TV in Washington, D.C. Please welcome your MC for this evening, Mr. Tom Fitzgerald.
Good evening, everyone. How are you? We have a special evening for you ahead, and it's just a wonderful evening to be here. Thank you so much, everyone. It is my sincere, humble honor to be serving as your Master of Ceremonies this evening as we mark this historic occasion, the official dedication of the Ruth Bader Ginsburg Commemorative Forever stamp. We have a wonderful program for you tonight, even more wonderful than what you've already witnessed tonight. But first, a word about cell phones. They're wonderful modern tools of science. However, they can be a bit distracting in official Washington events like this one or even opera performances. So we ask, if you take a moment, just silence them. Don't turn them off, though, because you're going to need them. The Postal Service this evening would like you to use your phone to hashtag this evening. Hashtag RBG stamp and Ruth Bader Ginsburg stamp, and use that on any social media post that you make this evening. At this time, we would like all of you to rise for the presentation of the colors by the United States Postal Service's Postal Police Honor Guard and the national anthem performed by Jonathan Patton from the Washington National Opera.
say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please take your seats, everyone. Let's give a big round of thanks to both Jonathan Patton and the Postal Service Police Honor Guard for that wonderful. We are most fortunate this evening to have several dignitaries and guests of honor in this audience here tonight. We would like to acknowledge them at this time, and if you are able to stand and wave as I call your name, we'd appreciate that. Please hold your applause till the end, as they say. We would like to acknowledge the partners that made this evening possible tonight: the United States Postal Service, the Ruth Bader Ginsburg family, the Smithsonian National Portrait Gallery. We also have with us tonight the Honorable Sonia Sotomayor, the United States Postmaster General Louis DeJoy, from the United States Postal Service Board of Governors, the Honorable Anton Hajar, the Honorable Amber McReynolds, the Honorable Dan Tangerlini, and we would also like to acknowledge the many members of Congress we have with us this evening who have taken the time to be with us tonight. We, of course, have the Ginsburg family with us this evening as well, and that includes Justice Ginsburg's daughter and son, Jane Ginsburg, and James Ginsburg. We also have Philip Bergenham, who is the photographer of the stamp you were about to see, Ethel Kessler, who is the art director and the designer for this stamp, and Antonia Alcala, who is the USPS art director. Thanks to all of you. It means so much to everyone that you are here tonight to join in this very special event, and we appreciate your support. But now, to the business at hand. This is the moment you have been waiting for this evening, the dedication of the Ruth Bader Ginsburg Commemorative Forever stamp. To do the honors tonight, we have Roman Martinez, the chairman of the Postal Service Board of Governors, which is comparable to the board of directors of a corporation. They direct the organization's expenditures, the long-range planning and policies, and as you can imagine, it is an enormous task. Governor Martinez also chairs the board's audit and finance committees. He serves on the election mail committee as well, and it is our honor tonight to present the Honorable Roman Martinez.
Good evening. I'm glad he got that right. Some people call me the horrible Roman Martinez, but that's another story. Good evening. What an honor to be here tonight, representing over 630,000 women and men of the Postal Service. First of all, I'd like to thank the National Portrait Gallery for providing this magnificent space for such a great event. Thank you. And I also want to thank the postal workers who put up these events year-round, and they do a great job. They bring it to life. You guys are terrific. One of the privileges of being chairman of the board, perhaps the only one, is that I get first pick for the first day of issue events like this. And this one was very special to me. One, we're honoring a great American and a great individual, but we're also in effect honoring the Supreme Court, which I hold in high esteem. It plays a very important role upholding the Constitution and the rule of law. I'm the only speaker tonight who probably does not know, or who did not know, Justice Ginsburg, but I saw her in action many times at the court. I was always impressed by her quiet but firm demeanor, her sharp questions, and I saw her in action many times during the last several years. Beyond the court, her personality, spirit, and presence are widely held by many Americans. A lot has been said about her, but to me, the one particular thing that I admire was her ability to persevere, her ability to fight for what she believed in, but to do it so in a civil way. As she said, you can disagree without being disagreeable. And her famous friendship with Justice Scalia, another great American, is a testament to that principle. In a time of sharp divisions in our country, we need more of that Ginsburg spirit. And as we Americans use her forever stamp, let us hope forever remember what binds us together as a nation. I am often asked about the selection process to be on a stamp. I'll just say a few words on that. We're older than the United States. We were established in 1775 by the Second Continental Congress. Benjamin Franklin was our first Postmaster General. He had more hair than